find and draw. So drawing helps us confirm and helps us understand what we're doing. One positive and one negative angle that's coterminal with negative pi over 4. The first thing I want to do is I want to graph negative pi over 4. Go ahead and make a prediction in your head. Which quadrant is negative pi over 4? If you made a prediction of negative pi over 4, you would have gone the 4th quadrant. Everyone say standard position.
Standard position.
You always start here in standard position. And to go positive degrees, we go which direction, class? Which way? Counterclockwise. So if this is 0 degrees, then up here is how many degrees?
90.
It's a right angle, so 90. How about the next one?
180, 270.
And 360 degrees. But we're starting to work with radians. You can call this 0 pi. If I go all the way around, how much is that? Or in radians, 2 pi. 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi. Class, what's half of 2 pi? So 180 degrees is equal to pi. What is half of pi?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2. 90 plus 180 equals 270. So pi over 2, or 1 pi over 2, plus pi, or 2 pi over 2, gives us what?
Over 2.
3 pi over 2. So if you think about it, pi over 2 is about 90 degrees. This is saying a negative angle, going clockwise. If you had converted this from radians to degrees, you'll recognize that's about a 45-degree angle. Quadrant 4 is where we're going to end up. Let's draw that. So our two coterminal angles are both going to end up in quadrant 4. Okay, so that gives us a visual where I should end up. So I have negative pi over 4. I want another positive coterminal angle. What am I going to do, class? Yeah, yesterday we learned that if I just need to add a number of rotations, I can just add a positive one. That's a positive angle, right? So the angle that we've given, let me draw you a bunch of blanks. So this is called the given angle. This is the number of rotations. It's your n value. This represents our rotation, so that's our, I'll call it m, measure of degree. So not measure of degree, measure of your angle. That's measured in radians. And then over here, we're going to have our coterminal angle. Let's just fill that in. So I have negative pi over 4 plus, class, what's 1 times 2 pi? I have a whole number added to a fraction. Can I add those?
No.
So we're going to make this a fraction by putting it over 1. And I'm going to multiply by what number? 4 over 4.
Yeah.
So I have negative pi over 4 plus, this becomes what?
8 pi over 4. God.
Then our answer is what? Raise your hand if you got 7 pi over 4. So from standard position, that would be pi over 2, pi over 4, I'm sorry, pi. Notice how that would be 4 pi over 4 in this case. Does that make sense? That's 1 pi. Now I don't need, it's more than 6/4, right? But I don't need quite all the way to 2 pi. So it ends up in the same position. So going this direction, that's a length of 7 pi over 4. Let's do the negative. Class, what's the only difference between the positive and negative? And what is what is our rotation going to be? -1. So I have negative pi over 4 plus negative 2 pi. Class, how do I make negative 2 pi a fraction? And we're going to multiply it by 4 over 4. So I get negative pi over 4. If it helps you, you can put a 1 right here. Negative 1 pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4. So I'll give you an idea what fractions are. So I have negative 1 pi minus 8 pi all over 4. And that will give us an answer of what? Negative 9 pi over 4. To give you a hint as we lean towards the unit circle, hopefully by the end of this week, anything that's divided by 4 is a 45-degree angle. Class, when it's divisible by 4, what is it? 45. You need to catch up onto those hints because tomorrow we're going to start evaluating angles and radians of those triangles using reference angles.